Imagine you're Timmy's parents living in a British city called Newcastle upon Tyne, with the freedom to choose where you live. Let's say you decide to live south of West Road, which Timmy will have to cross every day to get to school. The neighborhood children say that crossing West Road is very dangerous, and that cars don't stop. Given this possibility, imagine you instead choose to live north of West Road. Up here, Timmy will live in an area where the local kids say their favorite field is. His daily commute to school would be much more pleasant, and he won't be forced to cross any major roads. It's easy to see how such a small difference could lead to better outcomes for Timmy, especially when you consider how these commutes will impact him long term. A 2025 study of this exact area found that safe public spaces, familiar places that promote social cohesion, and pedestrian-friendly streets that support active travel are key enablers of positive neighborhood and travel experiences. Knowing and understanding factors like these can not only influence your child's development, but can influence your decisions and well-being as a parent. In 1979, psychologist Bronfenbrenner introduced a model that shows how human development is shaped by a large variety of systems nested in one another. He described how these systems interact, and how external factors can influence each one of them. This is the case for urban planning, as it fundamentally transforms how families live their lives at every level. To start, let's think about how families will be influenced by their immediate surroundings. Urban planning can dictate how easily children can access their surroundings without having to rely on their parents to drive them around. For example, if children can't access their friends due to limited public transport, lack of sidewalks, or distance, they may be forced to play indoors instead, and may neglect crucial physical activity. It is known that for both children and adults, good physical health is often correlated with good mental health. Since the lack of walkable neighborhoods can influence physical health, the mental health of both the children and the parents may be compromised. To counteract a child's inability to access their friends, a parent may choose to drive their children around more, or enroll them in play programs, taking valuable time and finances out of their life, which for many families are already strained, especially in a worsening economy. Secondly, the interaction of the family's immediate surroundings can matter just as much. As mentioned, the community surrounding the child's school can influence their morning commutes. Many other interactions are at play here too though. How do transportation networks connect the school to community resources? Will it be easy for Timmy's school to take him on a field trip to the zoo? How easy will it be for Timmy to visit his friends after class? If not for public transport, how easy will it be for Timmy's parents to drive him from school to his friend's house instead? Third, the city design all depends on the city's government. Even though it's the urban planner's job to come up with all of these designs, the city's lawmakers ultimately approve what goes where. Zoning laws, public transport projects, and vehicle taxes are only a handful of the things dictated by laws. For example, think of the stark contrast between the zoning laws in Europe and the United States. Swaths of land being zoned strictly for housing compared to land designed for both housing and commercial buildings will have a massive impact on day-to-day living. Even these systems often stem from externalities, like differences in how much a society values individualism. This chain of factors traces all the way back to Timmy and his parents. How Timmy gets to school and how much his parents help is shaped by all these external factors and more. In light of the impact urban planning has on all of these systems, there's one important relationship which hasn't been discussed: the parent-child relationship. Since the 1980s, it has been well established that child and parent well-being are intertwined. They have ongoing and mutual effects. If the well-being of either one of these parties is negatively impacted, the other may suffer too, and a cycle will be perpetuated. This is what is termed as a bidirectional effect, and something which can result in additional stress in the parent-child relationship. For parents, and soon-to-be parents, it's worth considering how a city's design will affect both your well-being and your child's. For policymakers, the challenge is to recognize that choices about walkability, public transport, car centrism, and safety directly shape the daily lives of the families you serve. Even when everything feels in order, these factors can quietly create stress and hardship that ripple through communities. At the end of the day, parenting will never be as simple as responding to or addressing a child's behavior. It's important to understand that the parent parent-child relationship is shaped by very complex systems. Often, even very small things that a parent will overlook will have a very large impact.